Thank you for joining us for this episode of Season 3 of Comply on the Fly with M3 and Karen B. Comply on the Fly is your trusted weekly resource for reliable insight and quick answers to common employee benefits compliance questions. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Seek the advice of counsel for any employee benefits compliance-related guidance or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B. And the Comply on the Fly topic for today is open enrollment reminders, as I know that we are fast approaching that time of year for many clients who have calendar year plans. Even if you have an off calendar year plan, these reminders are helpful when putting together your open enrollment materials. First of all, I want to talk to you about the required federal notices that must be included with your open enrollment materials. First, you're required to provide a summary of benefits and coverage, or SBC, with your enrollment materials. This is a federally required document. Actually, it was part of the Affordable Care Act requirements that provides information about your major medical plan or plans. It is a 4-page document that must follow a standard format, and it is double-sided, so it is really 8 pages. Typically, your carrier, if you are fully insured, or your third-party administrator or TPA, if you are self-funded, will provide the document to you. We do get a lot of questions about SBCs because sometimes they're not ready by the time you distribute your open enrollment materials. If that is the case, you must provide the SBC no later than 30 days prior to the first day of the plan year. If the renewal has not been issued by at least 30 days prior to the first day of the plan year, the obligation is to provide the SBC as soon as practical, but no later than 7 days after the renewal is finally issued. But of course, the best would be to have it in hand to provide it in the open enrollment materials. The other notices that must be with the open enrollment materials are the HIPAA Notice of Special Enrollment, which essentially notifies covered employees that they have 30 days to request enrollment in the health plan if they get married or upon a birth or adoption, or if they lose other coverage. The Women's Health and Cancer Rights Act notice and the Medicare Part D creditable or non-creditable coverage notice are also to be included with the enrollment materials. Some employers will also include the Marketplace notice in the open enrollment materials, which technically must be provided to all new hires, and also the HIPAA Notice of Privacy Practices, which is fine to include as long as you indicate in the opening paragraph which self-funded plans it applies to. I also see employers including the Children's Health Insurance Protection Rights Act notice, or CHIPRA notice, in with the open enrollment materials. Again, fine, but technically it has to go to all employees annually. So as long as all employees are receiving the open enrollment materials, or as long as you're providing the CHIPRA notice to those who are non-benefit eligible, you should be okay. Secondly, you're probably asking how to deliver these notices. If you have a benefit guide, the notices are typically put at the end of the guide, and the guide can be delivered in paper, by mail, or electronically. Some employers will reference the notices in a presentation and follow up with an email or other communication listing the notices and where to find them, because they post them. There are many ways to deliver the notices, but keep in mind that never communicating about the notices and where to find them will not be compliant. Also, there are other documents that require delivery to individuals and should not only be provided with the enrollment materials, specifically the COBRA Initial or General Notice and your ERISA SPDs. Both documents can be included with the open enrollment materials, but the delivery requirement is specific. It is within 90 days of initial enrollment and must be provided to individuals. So keeping track of delivery of both the COBRA Initial or General Notice and your ERISA SPDs upon that initial enrollment and within 90 days is very, very important. And that is your Comply on the Fly topic for today. Thanks for tuning in.
For more compliance insights from Karen B., please visit m3ins.com.